Albemarle County teachers, we're excited you're joining us for this Digital Learning Summit. This video is to talk a little bit about Flipgrid and why this tool is a valuable resource for teachers and students. Flipgrid is a video discussion board type educational tool. It's free and accessible to many. Its main message is to give every student a voice in the classroom. It has been overhauled in the last couple of years to feature all kinds of tools, including screencasting abilities right within the tool. Some ideas to think about when thinking about Flipgrid is maybe an emotional check-in, that social emotional learning is an important part of what we do right now. And maybe students do a Flipgrid and tell you and let you know how they're feeling for that day. You might want to do a 30-second book talk where you limit the length of time of that response, and then students can share about a book that they've been reading. You could do number talks. There's virtual Flipgrid field trips. How about advice for next year's class? How about setting goals for the semester at the beginning of the semester course? And how about for students that typically we might celebrate in person, but maybe you could do a happy birthday video for a classmate. There's all kinds of ways to use Flipgrid in your classroom, and we're excited for you to learn even more. Before using any resource, it's helpful to come to this Technology Resources Library site. And what happens is I've typed in Flipgrid pops up here, and then there's some things that you should take note of. Parent permission and admin permission are required. This is also a free resource, which is great. But just so you know, parent permission is required to use Flipgrid with your students. There's a form that is already made and produced that we can get to you. The best way to get parent permission is to start with contacting your LTI for that form. If you're an elementary school teacher, there's already been made an activity in the activity library made for you so that you can get parent permission right there within Seesaw.
All right, so this is how we go about recording. We hit the record button. At the top, you will notice this bar going across and how much time is left in our recording. You've got two black dots here. The top one shows the topic. When you click on that show the topic, students can reread what they are supposed to be discussing in Flipgrid. Sometimes we forget. The sticky note, you can write whatever you need, and then that sticky note you're able to move around, keep it or discard it, create bunches of them if you want to. Now, next to the record button is the three dots for options. In options, this is where we can upload a video. We can turn off our camera and just record the audio. So some students don't want their pictures on there. You can mirror it, just like we did with those word study words, in case you want to be able to read something right back. Obviously mute, and then record the screen. When you click on this record to screen, it takes you out of Flipgrid and does the entire screen. So it's just like a Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic, Loom, whatever you use. This gives the students the opportunity to record their entire screen as well. All right, so those are some of the options. We will talk about effects next in just a moment. At the effects is the magic wand part next to this, and this is where the students have the most fun. So if we open up the effects, we've got a menu of items to choose from. The first is filters, and filters is a fun, easy one, just like you've seen filters before, but they also have some of these fun filters that students really enjoy to kind of do like a guess who sort of game with. The other one is frames, and frames really speaks for itself. So it's just like you have with Zoom, except some different options with that. And the next one would be emojis. And in emojis, they're broken down into different categories, or you can just scroll through and see all the emojis that you might want to add. But you can click on an emoji and it pops up on the screen. You can move it around, you can click on it, size it, duplicate it, rotate it, all sorts of items that you want to do with that emoji. Also, there is text. Now, text comes in these styles. So you can choose a style that you like a superpower, and write whatever you need to. And just like the emojis, you can bring those around, size those, duplicate it, anything that you need to do with your writing. Now, if we go back to the effects, the next one is the draw tool. So just like Seesaw, if you're familiar with Seesaw, you can choose a color, you can choose a line thickness, and then you can draw anything that you want to draw. Okay. Also, in the effects, you've got the board, and this is probably one of the best features that Flipgrid has right now. I can choose a board that I want to use, and I like the whiteboard. You can choose how much of that screen you want to split. So I can be a student over here, and I can write my math facts, word study words, anything on that whiteboard to show it, so I don't have to hold one up. It's right here on the screen. And then the last effect is photos. I can click on photos, upload a photo from my computer, and that photo is automatically part of my screen. And let's see if we can find one real quick. There we go. Let's see if it pops in here. And then you can add a photo of whatever you need. Same thing, you can size it, you can shrink it, you can rotate it, duplicate it, all the stuff that you do with the other ones. And now I got a dog on my shoulder. All right, so those are the effects that you can do, and students have so much fun doing this. All right, we're going to talk about teacher controls when we create a topic in Flipgrid. So make sure you're in the topic section. You click on add a topic. A new topic's going to come up. You title it, you give the prompt, you add some media to it. We come down here to permissions. Keep it on private to keep it safe. For the student email, if you're in grades 3 and higher that use Google sign-in, just put at k12alamo.org so it links it into them and they're able to join. If you are using an iPad in, say, K-2, use the student username. Put the first name, last initial. It can create a username for you, but it's going to print off a QR code like this that the student just scans and it jumps them right into the grid. Super simple and easy for them. Now, the essentials, you can turn on this moderation so that you can see the videos and comments before anything gets posted, just like in Seesaw. The comments, you can either turn them on or turn them off. It depends on where your class is. When you come down, click on more options because then we can fine tune some more things. This is when you have it scheduled to be open to. So maybe you want your unit to close at a certain time, your topic. I keep the followers off just like by default. This is how many notifications come to you. So if you don't want daily notifications of who's added to the grid, just turn this off. Down here for the video, for the students while they're making their video, you can keep on the editing because we want them to trim things up, any effects. I don't necessarily need mine to attach things, so I turn this off. I also turn off the view count because I don't want it to be a popularity contest. Same with likes, I turn that off. I keep the sticky notes on so they can make those little notes on their video. And I also turn off the download and share. I don't want anyone to take anyone else's video and share it anywhere else. So I keep that part off. And the feedback, just keep it to the basic feedback, just the way it is. Okay, those are really how you set up your permissions and all the little ins and outs of permissions to get your topic started. Okay, so we want to share our Flipgrid so that people can jump in and create their videos. There's a few different ways we can do this. If you have created a group, so say your whole class was in a group or your grade level was in a group, for example, elementary LTIs, if I click on this, I can click on this share button, and that share button is going to give me a link. I can copy that link and then put that into a Zoom or into Seesaw, wherever I want, and the students can link right in. Now, when you link in as a group, you're going to have the option to record anything that are the topics inside that group. So it kind of gives you free reign to do anything that's active. So as the teacher, you can hide these or freeze these, but if they're active, students are able to, when they join that group, go to those. Let's say you didn't create a group and instead you just have topics. For example, this test topic. Now, on this test topic, I can click on this share button. The same thing comes up. I've got my share code. And again, I can copy that link and put it in. I could even turn it into a QR code just by clicking here, and that QR code students can scan, jump into just this topic and not a bunch of other topics. If I go and click on this little pencil, that's the edit for this topic, I can scroll down and I can see If I have it set for student email, they're just there for K-12. If I click to the usernames, I've got the student usernames in here. I can click on this print student list, and that will bring up all of the QR codes individual for those students. So when they scan that code, student B is going to pop up inside my topic, and it's just going to be recorded as student B, student A. So it individualizes those codes. So you could have a code for the topic where they have to sign in, or a code just to get the students in individually. And this is super helpful for those K2 students with iPads to join in and create in Flipgrid.
Hello, educators. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know Flipgrid in this short professional development. There are two things I want to end with to highlight in our video. One is the Discovery Library. Here you will find topics of the day, wonders of the day, various partnerships that Flipgrid has with other organizations like EPIC or Children's Theater. Again, there's trending topics, ideas like Valentine's Day acts of kindness, pets or no pets, and other featured collections. This way, you're able to access grids that are already designed and available for you to use as is or to edit as needed. I also wanted to point you to the Flipgrid Help Center, which has significant resources, a place for getting started for educators and a place for getting started for students. Basic topics, but then also further detailed support in all kinds of areas. And these resources are very helpful in anything and everything you do for Flipgrid. Amazing ideas. The other thing I wanted to highlight is the Microsoft Education Center. This is a way that you can actually take a course and this is completely free, but it's a way to access and learn more about Flipgrid in a more organized way. And there's other training resources too that are free, just so that you know, from the Microsoft Education Center. I hope you've enjoyed learning about Flipgrid, and I can't wait to see and hear everything your students are up to. Thanks so much.